Hello and welcome. My name is Billionaire and today I'm here to show you how to survive the first year in Banished. I've seen a lot of people post in different forums, on the websites, commenting on the YouTube and everywhere that surviving the first year can be really brutal and difficult. Have your whole population starve to death and don't really know where to go and what to do. And I decided to make a video to just show you how to do your basic survival and how to get your things rolling so that you don't lose every time in the first year and lose your whole population on starvation. So let's get a new village going so we can show you that any random location works just fine. It's gonna be Survivor Ville, and I'm gonna just randomly click on the seed. I'm gonna go with the valleys. I'm not sure if this works on the mountains to fill terrain tab. I haven't really played the mountains myself. I like the valleys, so I'm gonna go valleys. Map size doesn't really matter on this tutorial video. I like the medium and especially the large. I think the medium might be good if you are playing a couple first cities, because you don't need that much space yet, because, well, your city will, or town will eventually probably die to some reason. Starvation, fire, or other kinds of disasters can easily level your city to ground, and then you have to start again. But anyways, I think the large is the proper way to play the game, because space is always welcome when you are building cities in a city builder. But for this, for speed and everything, I just take the medium. I'm gonna use the fair climate, so the middle setting. Disaster zone, it doesn't matter on the video. And for this video I'm gonna start on the hard, because, well, hard is the hardest nationally way to start the game. And I think actually going with easy and medium can be really bad for you when you're starting out the game and don't really know what to do. They have some kinds of newbie or new player traps that can really make you do things wrong because you don't know how to do it at first. So if you choose the easy one, you get 6 families, clothing, food, firewood, building materials and tools, and you get some extra homes and storage already built, which are nice, but you don't really need. And then you have seeds for fields and orchards, and herd of livestock. This is where you can go wrong. I'll tell you why in a moment. Medium, it's kind of the same. You have 5 families and these items, and then you have a storage barn, and you have seeds and for orchards and fields. So this is bad. You wanna start on the hard, because when you have nothing, you really have to figure out what to do. So I'm gonna go on the hard and start the new city. So when you don't have anything, no seeds, no food, no nothing, no buildings, you really need to know what to build in what order to survive the first year and the following years, because the food is really low on the hard difficulty. You have a, let me pause the game here and show you. So the storage cart where you start with, so you have 1,200 potatoes, so that's your food. Let me enable this view here and this view. I like to keep the professions on there and the information over there. And let me also enable the events log here, which is not really important. I've seen everyone else do this the same way as I have done. So, thing to keep in mind in Banished, you need food, firewood, housing to survive. And starting on the hard, you have none of those really. And in Banished, when you play, each villager or citizen, which we have 16 at the start of the hard mode, you have a bit more on the other difficulties. It's hard 4 families, 5 medium and 6 on the easy one. So each of these takes about 85 to 100 food per year, not season. And this means we need to have at least 1,600 food for this year and next year, and I mean even more for the next year, because we get population growth. unless we of course lose people, which is a really good possibility. Even I, who have started many cities already on the hard mode and know basically what to do, it's still really easy to lose population for starvation, even when you know what to do. And during this video I might still lose people, but don't let that get you down. You can easily lose half of your initial population. It's just gonna make you start out slower, and also it will make your life easier in a way, because less food needed, and less firewood, less homes, so you can start out smaller. We're gonna try to aim to not lose any population at this point. So first things first, you wanna guarantee your food supply, and this is where new players may go badly in a wrong direction due to playing on the easy, on the normal, medium difficulty. So you have seeds for the crop field, orchard, and you have livestock. But the fact about those is that you need a ton of manpower, so population, to run fields, orchards, and the pastures properly. Even more with the fields than the other ones. Problem with the orchards is that if I start out the game now on the easy or medium difficulty when I have the seeds to do it, if I plant an orchard, like take an orchard, plop it down here, it's gonna take several years before this one does any food at all. It doesn't produce anything until the trees grow, and it's gonna take few years for them to actually grow. Also, keep in mind, orchard produces about, at full effectivity, it's about 1,000, whatever it is, apples, plums, or chestnuts, or whatever seeds you happen to have. And if you consider we have 16 people now, one orchard, it's not gonna produce enough food during even the first year, if it produced food, and it doesn't produce food until 3 years. So I would be minus 4,000 food already by the time my first orchard would do anything, and everyone would be dead and buried under the apple trees. Next thing is the pastures. I'm not sure how many animals you have on the easy, because I haven't tried it, to be honest. I went immediately with the hard and tried that. Pastures also are fairly slow to produce food. Full chicken pasture or sheep pasture or cattle pasture does provide good food when you have big enough city to actually support it. Also, cattle and sheep give you leather and wool, which are great for the clothing which you will need eventually, but not in the first several years. You can just kinda run balls naked in the woods and try to survive, especially if you try to keep your city kinda close and small, so you don't have to run around in freezing temperatures for long distances across the map, which will help. And same with the fields. A fully running field, which requires I think 4 farmers, or could be 3, produces about 1,000 food also, so at full effectivity. So it means even a field I make right now would not support my whole community, and it would also take half of my adult population to just run the one field. Also, a problem making the field first year is that you start in the early spring. Seeds are planted during the spring and harvested on autumn, and it would mean I lose time and probably don't plant any seeds. If I just make this field here, I would have to actually clear up space for the field to be able to even do it, and I would waste a lot of time planting the seeds, so my field wouldn't produce even 1,000. It would be probably 500 or even less, which means it's a horrible way to start the game. Then you have fishing, hunting, and gathering, which are all really good ways to start the game. But the way to actually start the game is the gathering. Keep in mind that during the whatever the age is this Iron Age, I would say. Probably not, maybe late Iron Age, or start of the next age. Hunter-gatherers were still pretty much in, and we just started to dabble in the farming and livestock herding and proper settlements, and especially in the northern climates, say Finland and northern Europe. And people were still relying heavily on hunting and gathering the food. I mean, the early population people just survived off the land and they didn't need to farm or raise livestock. So they small populations could easily just sustain themselves from the forest. And when the population started to grow and they started to gather together and form small villages, they started to have the necessary manpower to actually run the fields. I mean, imagine having a huge field and you being the only one there tending it. It's not going to produce that much at the end of the year. So anyways, I'm gonna start with the gatherers. A lot of people have been saying that the gatherers' huts are overpowered, and in a way they are. they provide a shit ton of food, to say the least. Like I said, fields, pastures, orchards can produce about 1,000 food, or a bit more or less, depending on the conditions. And a good gatherer's hut can easily do 2,000. Some people have said even 3,000 on right conditions. So that's 3 fields or pastures or whatever, just by gathering from a forest. So that's how you start the game. I mean, 2,000 would easily sustain my 16 people and still give me 400 extra each year. And the thing about gatherer's huts is that they just get better over time as long as you keep the forest around. And you need it says old forests, old growth forests or trees to sustain it, but that's actually a lie. And no, well, not a lie, but it's maybe badly worded. You need mature trees, which means put the gatherer's hut in a place where you will keep the trees and never cut them down. Only thing that should cut the trees around the gatherer's hut is maybe a forester, but even a forester should just improve and plant more and more and more trees there, so you have a massive amount of trees around the gatherer's hut, so it will do the massive or the maximum production of the food. And when you start out your map, take a look around. I have a massive hill here. This is kind of bad area, and you can see the radius of the gatherer's hut, so putting it here or something, well, even here, would mean I would lose a lot of production, because there's the hill, there's no trees, and the river, and all that. Same here. Well, this might be actually a decent place. You also kind of want to have it out of the way, because it means you will have a huge patch of forest there, and you really don't want to have it here in the middle of your whole city center, which probably is going to be, especially on this map, you have a nice river there and another nice lake there. So my city center would probably form around this area. But there is a thing also that the distance between your start location and wherever you start building your things should not be too long. Walking around for the citizens is a huge time waste, and you don't want to waste any time starting out the game at all. So you want to have it close by. Well, probably even dropping it here and actually just collecting the stuff here and forming the house and everything there might be a good idea. Maybe not, but it could be. You could also just build the gatherer's hut immediately here in the starting location where you have some space. You could plop down more houses and everything here. The gatherers, forester, hunters, and everything just there, and it would give you a really good start. And you could then move your population here or wherever, depending on your map and the seed and what you're using. But this one is pretty decent. It has a lot of space here, so I might actually just drop it down here and keep this forest around. And when your city is at the point of that you can sustain it with other types of food, or just plant more gatherers hut, like start here, get the first year going, then slowly expand here, and maybe have a couple gatherers hut up there, maybe one here and one there, providing you with the food, and then you can just remove this one and reclaim the area for other use and cut down the trees and get some firewood. So okay, because this one seems like a decent idea, I'm going to plop it down here. Let me see how it lines with the cart, so I can have another house on the other side. So this looks like a decent place. So there you go. That's my first building. Starting out on the hard, you have none production materials, or building materials, I would say. So you need to go and gather a bit. I'm not gonna remove any from the close by of this building because, well, I need the forest. So I removed just at the edge here all of these trees and stones. And I'm gonna build a stockpile close to the buildings, because having the building materials right next to your buildings helps a lot. So you don't need to run around collecting everything. 4x4, let's do 5x5. This will be used for a long period of time. And let me pump up the speed to up to 5. And all my laborers, so these guys, should be going, well, except the children who are just running around. So all the adult population is now beelining into the region here and getting the building materials for me. I'm gonna let them run around for a second and get the goods there. And then I'm gonna immediately add a couple builders. Okay, we have materials, so I'm gonna plop down 2 builders, 6 people gathering, 2 builders building the gatherer's hut, and immediately I'm gonna throw people into the gatherer's hut when it's done. Let me speed up this to 5 times. I don't want to do anything else as long as I keep these guys gathering the building materials and these 2 guys building this one. And it's raining. They're gonna be cold and miserable after the rain. Well, it doesn't really actually affect anything, it's just a graphical effect. It doesn't do anything. Only thing that affects anything is the current weather, not weather, sorry, temperature. So this one is the only thing that you need to keep in mind about the freezing. Snow does kill your fields, so that's a thing too. So this one is almost done. I'm ready to put down. You don't need roads early game. Actually, it's a waste of time to put them down when you don't have long distances to run around. But for aesthetics sake, I wanna have a road, and also for my own planning. So this one is nearly done. We are getting more and more stuff. We are ready to put down the next essential building, which is not the forester. Even though I would love to put it down. Next thing you need is firewood. You don't wanna freeze during the winter. And firewood comes from a woodcutter, which kinda at first made me think that a woodcutter would go around and cut trees and make firewood out of those. But it actually uses these logs that people have already cut down. I mean the trees. So I'm gonna just plop it down here next to the stockpile, which means distance to the stockpile is as little as possible. Same with this next to the cart. This is my storage cart. You start out with the storage cart or a storage barn. You wanna have your buildings as close to that as possible, because they spend less time walking, more time producing food, firewood, and whatever you are doing. So that's also, when designing a city, have storage barns everywhere. You can never have enough. Whenever you're producing something, just plop the storage barn next to it. It improves your production, especially with the farming. If your farmers have to collect the cabbages and then run 600 miles to drop off the cabbages, it's gonna waste a crap ton of time, and the whole field is gonna just wither away during the winter, and you lose 75% or more crops, and That's not how you survive. People are gonna starve to death because you didn't place the buildings correctly. So in the future I'll probably do how to plan your city kind of video. How to do it properly. But anyways, let's keep this rolling. So this one is now ready. So that was slow rolling. I'm gonna immediately... I need a... Well, I have building materials. They're coming in. So I'm gonna drop 3 people here. Maybe even 4. Because the food is the essential thing you need in the first year. It's the first thing to run out after next to firewood. Firewood will be the next one. So next one I will be building this. Having together immediately here during the first year means your 1,200 potatoes will run out before the end of the first year. But having this one means I immediately start collecting more food. So my potatoes will last just a bit longer. I'm gonna plop... here you have this show or hide production statistics at this location. So now we see what it is producing. And in a moment we'll see how it starts to work. So I'm keeping 2 builders building this one. And 4 laborers. Actually one of the children grew to adulthood, which is a great thing. So which means I'll just send 1 more immediately in the gatherer's hut. You want to have the food. Keep that in mind. And so there are already onions, roots, berries, and what's the last one? Mushrooms, yes. So already food production going up. That's almost 200 food immediately. And now it's already over that. And it seems my laborers... Did I already remove all things I told them to do? Maybe. And I have I may have enough already to do my early things, but keep an eye on your laborers. If they're doing nothing, they're wasting time. And you're wasting resources, which you never have enough. So just keep going with those. Just as long as my stockpile is not full, I'll just keep them working. And you can see the food is rolling in. We are still losing a bit of food. Actually, yeah. Let's see how this goes. Sorry about pausing constantly. Oops. Let's see. There's a lot of mushrooms here. It's not really the best location due to losing all of this area for gathering, and eventually it's gonna be a problem. But for the first year, it's just fine. So how is this going? Wood is being added there, a bit of stone. One of them grew to adulthood also, which means let's get another builder. You need... Actually, I have materials now, so I'm gonna add 1 more builder, more than I need, and I'm gonna add another building. So I have food coming in a second. I have woodcutter. Next thing you need, housing. The thing about the housing is that when you build a house, a family moves in. When a family moves in, it starts producing more children, which grows your population. Which in a building game usually is a good thing. Have more population, get more tax as well. There is no money in this game, so having more population means just more manpower to run things, which is a great thing. But you can go wrong with that also. If you build too many houses, it means there's a lot of room for population growth, which means you're gonna need more and more and more and more food, which will lead into trouble, because you're gonna infinitely improve your production of food. But anyways, let's move these another road here, just for how I like the city go, and small neighborhood here. Couple houses on that side, maybe a couple on this side, and actually 1 in there and 1 in there. I don't want to cut any trees at all when I'm building the first houses, because I don't want to lose any trees for this building. I don't want to have to waste. Actually, there is 1 removal, and these not have, because this tiny tiny trees there on the way. So you waste time building buildings when you have to actually remove the trees out of the way. So hard starts with 4 families. I'm gonna start with 4 houses. And it doesn't really matter at which order they do. Only thing that actually matters is when they do the woodcutter. And there is a increased in here in the tools and reports. You have a increased priority, 6th one, which can be used to increase priority what you are doing. And I'm gonna increase the priority of this house or woodcutter to be the first thing to build for them. It seems my laborers are done, and a couple of the children are all again grown up. I'm gonna put everyone to building duty, so I have the housing and everything. I have a ton of materials here. Actually, the stone might not be enough, so we might have to actually grab a couple of stone. That's 40 stone in total. I have 6 there and none in there, so I'm gonna actually get 1 less. Actually, yeah, 1 less. And he's gonna. There's a bit of stone here. These stone actually, and there's a bit of iron also. These stone take space from trees, so you wanna actually get rid of these stones close to your homes, or I mean the Getara's hut area, so you get more trees here. So they can plant more trees and have more stuff. Look at these. So this one has produced 300, 400, about 500 food this year, which is almost enough to feed half of my population. I started with 1200 food. I have produced 500, which means that's 1700 in total, so I can survive the first year without losing anyone to starvation because of 16 population. We are already 100 over the limit, although it would mean if I stopped producing food now, I would have 100 food at the start of the next year, so the second year would be horrible. But already at the late summer up here you can see we have enough food to survive the first year. And my woodcutter is ready. Send someone there immediately. Fuel limit, you don't want to have this too high. 200 is too small in my opinion. I like to have it about 500. But it means your woodcutter is just gonna go through your wood stock too quickly. Let's keep it at 300 for now. And do you send a guy? Yes. And still have 2 laborers collecting the stone, and first of the houses are getting done. Don't bother with the stone houses at first, or until very long into the game, because if you look at the houses here, stone house, I mean wood house is 16 wood, 8 stones. This is 24 wood, 40 stones, and 10 iron, which is a lot more. 40 stone is a big investment. So one of the families, these 10-year-old and 11-year-old builders have a house now. My food went a bit down due to them putting all these foods into the house and firewood, and this could be also a problem early game, because people store food in their houses and firewood. So when the first family or a couple first families build their houses, they immediately go and run into your storage cart, grab everything you have there, as long as their house is not full. And when the next house is built, it could mean that if you are low on food and firewood, that the next family doesn't have anything to get. Their neighbors are living in massive opulence and drinking wine and eating pork chops and steaks and everything in their houses, and the other ones next door don't have anything. They are just gnawing on their shoes during the winter, trying to survive and huddling for warmth. So I have 3 houses, which means I can drop my builder population down. I'm still only in the autumn, and we are producing 1000 food already. First year, Gatherer's hut. Which means I'm definitely surviving the first year easily, and already very well into the second year. And now that my buildings are almost done, where to go next? You can do multiple things now. Next thing that is going to run out is the tools. Well, not necessarily. It's actually gonna be probably clothing that runs out, and building materials. But tools are essential to keep your things running in the long run. Having and not having a tool, difference in that is almost 50% production, which is really easy to see. For example, when you are farming, if you have a farm and tools, you can easily farm, well, not easily, let's say educated population farm with tools, you can easily collect the whole field. If you don't have tools, it's like half the field only, and you lose thousands and thousands and thousands of food. So keep in mind, keep the tool production going. And I'm trying to find my blacksmith, and I'm gonna plop down a blacksmith. I may consider actually moving the blacksmith out of this area, because the gatherer's hut needs the trees, and I wanna keep this as it is. And the blacksmith doesn't need any of these. I mean, it needs workers. It needs one worker, and if he lives somewhere here, it's okay. It's just walk here. So I'm gonna extend my road. This is gonna be a bit more than just surviving the first year, it seems. I didn't expect this to go this well. So I'm doing better than I expected. So I'll flip down. This is the edge of the limit of the gatherer's hut, and we can start expanding into there. So this is my blacksmith over there. Some of these guys will come work there, and it's fine. And we can add a couple of builders, and we can also start adding other things. Next thing I would go for is forester and hunter. The reason for the forester is more trees, more food from the gatherer's hut. And I'll just put it down here and extend this road a bit, and then I'll add a hunter. Forester produces a bit of food, bit of stone, and a bit of iron each year, if you let him cut trees. At first, there is a small hill there, so I cannot actually have this over here, which means it's gonna be here. Actually, no. So that is the range of the gatherer, and this is the range of the forester. So it is bigger, and since I'm starting to form my housing and buildings and everything here, I don't want to have this. If I put it here, you would see that the edge would go all the way here, so I would be wasting time and effort through that. Actually, the road I put down, let me remove it, so I can have my forester in there. Oh no, that's a bit of road. Yeah. No, it's not. The landscape is kinda up against me today. Oh well. We'll figure out where to put this forester. Can I... Yeah, this looks... there. Okay, there it goes. And a bit of road. Okay, that's better. And I have enough builders, laborers. I think my laborers are done collecting everything. And I have a decent supply of building materials here. Stockpiles are also one thing you can never really have too many, because it means they stockpile the building materials and everything close by. So I'll have another one here, and now that my population is kinda collecting the stuff in there and working on that, I have a couple extra laborers until I need foresters and hunters and everything. I'll send these guys here and just collect everything around that area and stockpile them there. And when I start building more houses on this side, it means I have already ample supply of building materials close by, and I can start sorry about that. I can start throwing the things from here to the houses and whatever I build here, instead of having to run them all the way from there. Also, this one is well, half full, and it's not probably gonna get too full yet, but anyways. So we have houses for everyone, which is great. Also, my whole population is almost grown up, which means I have a really good amount of laborers. Actually, we have another family. So since my adults grew up, they need another housing already. So couple more houses closer here. I don't want to have too many houses in here because it takes space from the forester and gatherer. Also, the fact that the snow came in the late autumn means that it's early winter and we don't have housing for everyone, so I'm gonna prioritize these two houses so that all the families living in this area, all the families with 5 people without homes don't have to stay out in the in the snow. And here's the gatherer's hut again. So it's now way over 1,000 food. That's 500, 1,000, 1,300. So it's not enough yet to supply my whole population. But I'm easily surviving the first year. There is a lot of food in the houses here. They have food. They have food. They also have children now, which just born. More food and more food. So even though this is going down a bit, it means these guys are already having food, and this is just a surplus. So we are way into surplus during the winter, which is great. Well, it's only early winter, and these guys kinda need the housing like now. So work faster, dudes. I may have actually also put this one to be built quicker. How about more laborers or builders? Just get them done now. Actually, the stone supplies. Yeah, it's enough. We have stone. We have stone. Okay, it's fine. Just means we have to get stone and iron first thing after this. Probably not enough for those, yeah. But anyways, it's winter. It's almost at the end of the year. So this is basically how to start the first year. I'm gonna let it roll to the spring. We have the houses now. Everyone lives happily in a house. There's children coming. Population is growing, and we still don't have enough food for the whole population. Especially now that we have 19 people. This is not enough. That's 1,500 or so. So it's almost enough. How to go onwards from this, I mean, is to make sure you have food. One woodcutter is enough to provide enough firewood for your small house, small village here, and you're gonna be needing more food. How to do it would be another gatherer's hut. You could start fishing here, get some fishing going. The hunter, which is not built yet, will provide some venison for your people. So with the hunter, which is already being done, I think I would be about at the ±0 food. We would eat everything we produce, but we wouldn't die to starvation. As long as everyone has food in their homes and doesn't steal from their neighbors and hoard the food, which of course is not the optimal situation. You want a bit more. So building the fish here, bam, we have surplus production of food. Another gatherer's hut is also really good, and especially when this gatherer's hut gets more old growth around it, it means it's gonna produce more and more. Soon the year changes and we can actually see the difference in this. My food went down because we built more houses, and they stockpiled about 300 food in each houses. So it's looking good. Well, it's going down, but it's looking good. And it's late in the year in the survivor well. I'm out of stone, I'm out of iron. Well, I have enough for both of those, so it's just fine. Too many builders, it doesn't matter. Get some laborers, and they're immediately gonna start to work in the hunting and there. So couple hunters in there, gets a couple of people from there. So let's put. Oh, sorry, this is a forester. I'm gonna disable the cutting to get as much forest around the gatherer's hut, which makes the gatherer's hut better over time. So you want to improve that. So it's just planting trees. And did I? sorry, I made double forester, but this was supposed to be a hunter, and I would put couple hunters there from my spare labor population, and then drop down builders when I'm not building anything at all except this blacksmith. And I would use the extra laborers to gather more building materials, especially the iron, which is now ran out due to the blacksmith building, which actually doesn't have enough iron at the moment. So I would just collect iron, find a nice spot there's iron, get those, and get the tool production going for the next year, and then get the food production better and better, so that you have a ample supply of spare food coming constantly. You want to have at least almost twice. Well, I would say almost twice. It's a bit too bit too much. Well, not too much, but would be amazing to have. You want to have at least half surplus compared to how much you need each year. So you have a stock. If something bad happens, say tornado comes, fire comes, burns down your storage house, and you're screwed because no one has food or firewood. So yeah, get food, and then you can do whatever you want from here. So there's my another forester lodge. Let's pretend it's a hunter, and there is now a couple hunters there doing stuff, even though it's not. But anyways, this is how you start. Get another gatherer maybe up here or something, or wherever on your map where's a good spot. Couple fisheries, couple. I mean one fishing hut. It can hold 4 fishers, so you can have a couple maybe there, and have always free laborers and a couple builders. Then get that trading post going, get some seeds, livestock, and just keep expanding and have fun with the game. So that's been nice 40 plus minutes of showing you how to start your first village on hard mode and survive your first winter, or yeah, well, first winter and first year. So I'm Belander, and I'll be showing you more stuff later in different videos. Also, I have a live stream going practically every day on my twitch.tv channel. Check out that also, and also my Twitter, where I announce new videos, new stuff, and when I'm streaming and all that. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys next time.